Mammoth is not just a name or a title for a movie, it's also a symbol. It symbolizes the reincarnation of one of the characters of the film. So if you
Well, that's good. Well, I haven't heard that before.
Well, the girl in Philippines, she used to be an elephant, so I'm guessing that she also could be a mammoth if
Yeah,
that was
yes,
a long time ago.
Good, good, yeah.
If you had so if you had the opportunity of reincarnate yourself in another life, what animal would you like to be, and why?
Animal, I don't know, but I'm the first thing that came to my mind was that I would have liked very much to be in this specific place like 60 years ago. Not because it would be a nice thing, but just because it would be. I mean, this hotel has a, but maybe that's not really a subject for our interview.
Your character, he creates, you know, this kind of video games, but he's not addicted with the games. Your wife likes to give life to other people, but she doesn't have a life of her own.
But that's what I mean. I haven't heard that lecture before of the movie. I mean, of course, I know that that's not what's said as such in the film, but that's your interpretation, and I hadn't heard that, but it's a valid one, of course. I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, you answer yourself in that sense. I mean, what would you think it's better? I'm not sure. I mean, the character puts into play this, and the story puts into play the situation, and the situation where a couple is a bit dysfunctional in a way, from my perspective, you know, and stays dysfunctional throughout.
It took me a lot of time to understand what you're doing in the film, meaning metaphorically. You are doing this kind of game with time, and I really like that you make people be a little bit confused about if you're playing a game with the audience or also with your characters, because your characters are getting bored, they don't have a reason in their life. So how difficult it's for you creating an interesting film about people who are getting bored?
I wouldn't say bored, I would say frustrated, because bored is just then you're just bored, but frustrated means more like you're sort of feel that there is something wrong in your life, and if it's how to make a film about it, I think that's very much up to the viewer. Whoever watches the film will have, some people will find it interesting and some will not, and I think it's a bit of a slow film, and for some people it's too slow, but I find it enormously interesting. I mean, also in real life, just to look at people and what they're doing. I don't really need dramatic turning points and that, because I just find it enormously interesting to just sit somewhere and just look at what people are doing.
Also, there's one very shocking scene when your character doesn't have a thing to do and he's breathing air. He's taking a bottle and he's breathing air. So do we sometimes need to actually breathe air metaphorically when we are close to a verge of a nervous breakdown?
Yeah, well, the character, I would argue that the character does that, but he could always just go downstairs and walk around, you know, instead of being caught up inside the car, inside the hotel. You know, he could just go for a walk. Bangkok is incredible, you know, but he decides to take it from an oxygen bottle. So this shows who the character is. You know, and the character is this person that for some reason finds the comfort, or not the comfort, the small, instant, but very, very feeble refuge of an oxygen bottle.
Michelle Williams' character, she needs to get more in contact with the baby, but the baby is connected more with the nanny, and at the same time the nanny wants to be connected with her children, but she cannot. So that means that it's something like a circle of life that nobody feels complete. Could you comment on that?
Yeah, I tried to, in the editing room, we tried to make sort of like a diagram over all those connections and all those. So this person needs this person, and this person likes or sort of longs for this person, and sort of like it became a really spider web. And I think that's the way the world is. We're in that spider web where we need each other, and there is this connections and disconnections, and I just find it enormously fascinating, especially in this world today when there are so many, when we have connections all around the world. It's a difficult thing, and it has a lot of negative side effects, but it can also be a fantastic thing.
Yes, I think that we are experiencing a new Babel because through internet we can communicate with all the people at the same time, but we can't understand the languages, we can't understand the way they're thinking, we can't understand the understory, everything, you know, that is written.
Yeah.
So do you think that so much information sometimes can really eliminate our real feelings?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I also think that this kind of communications, with cell phones and stuff, it can be really bad and, you know, crazy. And I think that, and I'm quite skeptical about the internet. I think they should actually just close it down.
It's weird because I also at the same time hate, you know, mobiles, but I do have 2 mobiles.
Yeah.
And 5 years or probably 10 years ago, I didn't even use one mobile.
No.
So it's a kind of verge that they created for us, and on their own polite way, they made us feel comfortable in that luxurious life.
Yeah.
So could you change your life totally? Throw away your mobile phone,
I don't
close
know.
your internet connection.
I actually didn't have a mobile phone until just a couple of years ago, but actually I just got it when I was gonna go and make this film, because then
that film was your disaster.
Yeah, it was actually, because now I just have it, and it's terrible because before that everything was okay, but now I have it, and I don't know. It's just like you say, it creates its own need. Sort of. It creates my need to have it all the time, and we absolutely live in a world of information overflow, and but I mean it's a good thing at the same time. But I think the negative sides are bigger than the positive things.
When he goes, you know, in this place for vacation, he tries to be a person who thinks positive. He wants to help that girl. But after that, we realize that he's one of the people that girl meets on a daily basis. Could you comment on that?
Well, even worse, I guess, because he's got a double moral to him, you know? And in a way that's, I mean, actions speak more than words. So this character feels that he has, I mean, sort of, instead of just having a good time, which doesn't involve sleeping with a girl, really. I mean, just having just a good time, getting to know the place, and it really doesn't involve sleeping with a girl. He finds it very uncomfortable, and in this uncomfortable sense, he finds it uncomfortable. Why? Because he's got an inner need to actually sleep with this girl, for some reason, and I think that's a double moral. That's a bit hypocritical.
Do you find any similarity with that character that you're playing?
Similarities would be not so many. No, actually not.
How did you approach the character?
No. Just by empathy, with the emotional journey of the character. And there's no. I don't feel a real strong connection to the. I don't identify with the character as such. You know, I mean, but I empathize his emotional journey, and I want to interpret it, and this empathy leads me to kind of, in an internal way, understand the character.
Let me use a weird connection. When I was watching the movie, I was thinking Lilia forever, only when I was thinking about the things that you have done, because Lilia was trapped in her own world. So did you feel trapped in different languages, in different things, in different stories, as a director in Mammoth? Did you feel a little bit like Lilia?
No, absolutely not like Lilia, because that's no. But trapped, yeah. I think I will only make a few. If I continue to make films, I will only make a few films that are in. Yeah, I'm not sure if I. No, yeah, I would like to. I would like to close down the internet, and I would like to close down my own directing career, but both things will probably go on forever, unfortunately. But anyway, I think I feel a bit trapped in a positive way and in a negative way. I feel a bit trapped in Sweden, actually, because I only think I have a few stories that I can tell that are in other languages than Swedish. I think the only thing I really understand is Sweden.
So cinema is not an international language for you?
Well, the greatest things is when you one of the greatest things with cinema is actually when you see a film from somewhere in the world that you don't really understand anything about, have never been there, and suddenly you sort of understand something about that place. You know, something is a film from somewhere in Africa or Asia or anywhere, and so like that's something that goes deeper than any kind of, you know, statistics or journalism or anything. So
a bit like stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
How was working with Mr. Moodysson?
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. He's a lovely person and a great director. Very a great, very solid and he knows what he's doing. First of all, and he knows what not to say, which is
that's a quality.
It's as important as to know what to say.